With Falcon hockey coach Joe Cranston. And Joe, last weekend at Hunt Arena, the Falcons split with UW-Stevens Point in an NCHA series, winning 3-2 and losing 5-4. Could you talk about those two games a little bit?
Well, I think in the opening Stevens Point game, we came out, Stevens Point did some nice things, and they had some good rushes and had some pressure on us early, and I think they did a good job. And then midway through the first period, I thought we kind of took over that game and pretty much controlled that game. We outshot them, outplayed them, had a lot more scoring opportunities than they did, and and we're up 3-1 with a few minutes to go. And one of my big pet peeves, one of my biggest things is you got to finish a game strong, and when we didn't do that at either game this weekend. But that first game, we made some big mistakes right at the end of that game with an empty net that Kait Mason put a puck into. We went off sides, and that should have been the nail in the coffin, and instead it's offsides. It doesn't count now that it comes back. Now it's 3-1. We take a bad penalty, which has been just killed us all year long. We took a stupid penalty, a neutralized penalty. Well, now they pull their goalie at 6-on-4, then they get another goal. We're on our heels, and we end up just barely pulling out a 3-2 win. Should have been a 4-1 conclusive win. And I just think that they carried over into the next day. So the next day, we played okay. We played well enough the first two periods that we probably should have won the game, but we let up at the start of that third and had a couple, the first two shifts of the third period, we just stood around like a deer in the headlights, and just goes to show, every year I talk about this, but when you're picked to win the conference and you're ranked higher than the other teams and all that stuff, everybody wants to beat you that much more, and if you let off your guard a little bit, somebody's going to take advantage. And Stevens Point did just that. They took advantage of us. They were buzzing us, and they only won maybe half of a period the whole weekend, and they got 2 points because of it, because we were on our heels and not paying attention. So they come out, get 3 quick ones on us, and none of them were really good goals, but nonetheless they count. And so we switched goalies and came out. Now we turned it up a couple notches and scored 2 goals, tied up the game. Looks like we're going to win that thing. There's no doubt in my mind we were going to score another goal or 2 and win that. And then what do? We get a really bad checking penalty that was easily avoidable. They come in, score a power play goal on us, and it wasn't just a bad penalty, it was just a bad penalty kill too. We were on our heels, and it cost us. And looking back, it's always easy to look back and say, man, I wish I would have worked on this or this or this last week. And we really worked a lot on offense coming into that week, and because of the St. Olaf game, thinking that if we can buzz them and get our offense rolling like we did, there's not going to be any stopping us. As it turns out, I wish we'd have worked more on defense, because we had a lot of defensive mental lapses in that game. So I think we're going to work a lot on defense now.
Joe, player of the week was junior forward Kait Mason. She scored twice in Friday's win and had an assist on Saturday. Could you talk about Kait's play a little bit?
Yeah, I think she had a couple of assists in that second game, but Kait's, she's just turned it up a couple notches here as of late, and she has the ability to do that. She's one of the most dynamic players in our league. Everybody knows it. She's just fun to watch, and she battles offensively, defensively. That first game, she's just, every time she touched that puck, there's just electricity in the rink, and she can just blow by the other team's defense, and she did once and just shelved one. And she's just such a fun player to watch, and she moves the puck around. She doesn't hog it, and so I just think Kait's having a really good year, and I'm sure that'll continue.
Joe, looking ahead, the Falcons have another NCHA series coming up this weekend at Concordia. Games are Friday and Saturday. What are you looking for this weekend? Well,
we know we can't take anybody for granted. We know if we sit back and give somebody some breathing room, they're going to take advantage. So we're gonna spend a lot of time this week kind of turning the tides, and it'll probably be more offensive than defensive this weekend. That's not going to be our focus today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to go back to the basics. We're going to get our defensive zone straightened out and get the basics, the small little things that we're doing wrong, straightened out, and we're going to get our penalty kill fixed. I mean, our penalty kill over the sheet of the ice is very good. I mean, most teams have a hard time even getting across the red line on us. Most teams have a hard time setting up. we have the puck a lot of times more than the other team when we're killing penalties. We do a great job there, but once the other team sets it up, our fundamentals are atrocious right now. So we got to straighten that out to get ready for this weekend. And then our goal is going to be to shut them down. It's going to be all defense. We're not going to try to give up many shots on goal or not give up many scoring chances. And then hopefully the offense will come from there. So that's our game plan, and that's what we're going to be working on the next 3 days.
Joe, good luck to the Falcons. We'll talk to you next week.